The views and opinions of this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers. There is substantial risk of loss in trading futures and options, which you should carefully consider prior to trading. Well, not the best end of the week in the grain and oilseed trade on Friday. It's been a tough week overall, but wheat really kind of took a bit of a nosedive on the day into the weekend. That spilled over, it felt like, into corn and soybeans to some degree. Crude oils continue to be volatile. Livestock had a good day, though, on Friday. Let's talk about things. Joining us for a conversation and market analysis, Tommy Grisafi with Advanced Trading. Tommy, good to talk with you again, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well, Jesse. I smile more when the markets are up, but I am happy for our clients who are hedged. I am happy for the cattleman who doesn't like to hedge, who's just getting this bull market in cattle. We have some bright spots. We're not going to cover it. The milk market is very profitable. They're getting to buy very affordable grain, but I'm known to talk about milk unless we're going out for ice cream. But the stuff that everyone likes to talk about is corn and beans and wheat. And I read an email actually from our friend Chris Swift down there in Nashville. Yep. And Chris is kind enough to send me our stuff. So I thank you, Chris. He said news coming out of Russia that Russia's going to flood the markets. They've offered to sell a lot of people wheat at a cheaper price. Now, many people are saying, oh, Russia's got a smaller crop. Well, they're going to sell everyone but us wheat. And so Russia looks like it's true. They're flooding the market with some wheat. Board of Trade wheat down 15 to 20. That's a significant number. And then you look over corn, wasn't that bad of a day, wasn't bad of a week. Well, these beans, extreme volatility in the beans. And you and I know exactly what next Friday is. Next Friday is November options expiring. I did an ATI Pro Media special about the strikes and what's there, and the $10 strike, extremely important to know beans. And, a little bit ago, I looked over and no beans were at 970. We're way below that strike. A lot of calls that have become worthless, a lot of puts that are becoming worth something. And Jesse, as you know, professional traders and farmers and everyone, they have these positions on. And so extreme volatility. I don't like the November options expiry, because farmers, especially our farmers who up north in North Dakota, they're still harvesting beans yet. I have to tell them to get out of their options. But nonetheless, everything's colliding 1 week till Nov options expire, sir.
Are you worried, and we've been talking about this all week on the show, you worried that we're going to go down and test the summer lows in beans, if not even further than that, kind of that 950 level here, Tommy?
Yeah, it looks possible. And if we were recording this 2 weeks ago, they would have locked you and I up and thrown away the key. They'd say, you guys are crazy. Beans are trading at 1060, just closed on the high of the week. Well, turn that frown upside down or something, because all of a sudden we're approaching 960. We've lost 1/10, and we'll call it 10% for simple math. 10% pullback in beans during harvest. That's money coming right out of the farmer's pocket. And yes, I'm extremely worried. I'll tell you another thing. Some people say this has nothing to do with Trump doing better in the polls. But if you overlaid how Trump's doing in the polls versus Vice President Harris, the bean market seems to really be believing that he has a much better chance of winning than he did 2-3 weeks ago. So 2-3 weeks ago, China was cutting rates twice a night, giving away free money. On a positive note, we do have things like gold. Gold's had a heck of a run. Gold has a 27 in front of it, 2,730, but both are yellow commodities, Jess, but one's doing better than the other. So you see some things out there that you're like, oh, commodities are heating up. We have inflation. Then you see crude oil, as you mentioned in your opening, see crude oil back up $4, another $1. We're looking at $69 crude oil, 22 cent natural gas. Natural gas had a 3 in front of it a few weeks. So big volatility in commodities. Some of us are yelling from the top of the mountain, there's inflation. Some of us are saying there's deflation. We're probably all full of it. But nonetheless, the commodity that farmers are harvesting right now, today, upon watching and listening to this show, is going down and having a bad day.
You mentioned the elections and China too, and I know we've had a ton of Chinese economic data out this week as well, kind of just flooding into the broader global market. I just have to think, Tommy, here, the next several weeks ahead, there's going to be a fair amount of volatility across all the markets, commodities, money markets, energies, etc., livestock, ahead of the U.S. election and some of the uncertainty. What do you think?
You said it so well. Yes, I concur, doctor. I'm not gonna try to. You did that wonderfully. That should be a YouTube short. Yes is the answer.
Yeah, it's just it feels to me like that's something that farmers are going to have to manage through while they're trying to get this harvest wrapped up. With all that in mind, though, corn dipped below 4 for a little bit this week on these futures, and it didn't feel like it didn't really like being below 4. It seemed to me when I looked at charts and whatnot. Corn, I'm a little more friendly to the corn market right now. Are you?
Yes, and I could instantly become friendly beans again too. But I'm up. If I buy beans today or on Monday, I wasn't a farmer all year. And so to me, these markets look to be of value, especially if you're a foreign country or a speculator, want to hedge inflation risk or something. But I think if someone does want to hedge inflation risk, that's why they're going to gold. That's why they're going to Bitcoin. Who gets together in a New York office and says things might get wild? Let's go buy corn. And in the end, it'll catch up to it. But boy, it looks like Bitcoin and gold and other things are really taking the lead as markets that are a little nervous and saying, we're not sure what's going to happen. We're not sure who's going to win. We're not sure what's going on with China. We're not sure what's going on with North Korea or Taiwan, but something's going on. And we haven't even talked about Israel and what's going on over there. Every day I turn on TV and they killed some new head guy. I don't even know who these head guys are, Jess.
Yeah, it's just that speaks to all the turmoil there and how that plays into this broader market picture, no doubt. And I think that plays into the meat markets too, whether we're talking exports or whatever the case may be, domestic demand. Good end of the week in cattle and hog trade, and you mentioned this earlier. Cattle folks, I mean, this bull market keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Are we going to fall over the other side of the mountain, though, here eventually, Tommy, at some point in the not too distant future? What do you think about cattle right now?
Yeah, one would think they could have a nice $3 to $5 pullback. That would be normal. They start to zip down. It'll be nothing to look over, see cattle down 160, and then you go get something to drink, and they're unchanged on the day. So the cattle market's been very resilient. Stock market keeps hitting new highs, new highs, new highs. For all the naysayers out there saying everyone's going broke, someone's got money because the Dow Jones at 40,000 and something. I can't even see it here. 43,500. As you know, Jesse, when I was a kid, the Dow Jones was at 2,500 and it broke 500 in a day. Matter of fact, it was what day was it? October 19th was the great stock market crash. I think it was. I'll Google it. October 19th, 1987. Don't hold me to that date, but I think I'm real close. The Dow Jones was only at 2,500. Now it's at 43,000. Yes, people can afford beef and pork, and they need good proteins.
I want to ask you this too, as we're getting close to wrapping things up today. A question I've been throwing out this week as well. It kind of goes back to the grains, but obviously we're harvesting this crop right now. But even starting to put pencil to paper for inputs for next year, et cetera, et cetera. That Nov 25 bean spread with Dees 25 corn. Some folks have been telling me that, hey, we're maybe starting to buy some corn acres potentially. You look at a spread like that. Is that something that's on your mind here as we get into the fourth quarter, Tommy?
A little bit, a little bit. You mean like a jockeying for acres? Oh, I hear fertilizer's expensive. Maybe we'll plant
Yeah.
more beans. Yeah, you know what? I haven't given it too much thought because I'm so busy helping people manage the risk of this crop right now. But I will say our mutual friend and associate at ATI Pro Media, Connor Bridgman, he's like, guys, why aren't we selling Nov 25 $11 beans? And some people did sell some November beans, Nov 25 beans at 11. But now those very beans, I'll tell you about where they were late in the day. Nov 25 beans are down to 10.20. So yes, do we have a problem in the front months now? Yeah, but we got a problem in the back months also, Jess. That some people might still have some 23 crops. Some people are dealing with 24. And then some people who are aggressive, smart, and wise are thinking about 25. I'm not quite there yet. I was for a few minutes a few weeks ago, and then we started focusing on 24 again.
All right, fair enough. As we close it out, Tommy, anything final you want to mention or reiterate to folks today?
Well, the big stock market crash was on October 28, 29, 1929. And October is a famous month for market volatility, but it's not happening right now. And I'm old enough to know that even though things seem fine right now, they don't always stay that way. And just thinking about what I said, that the Dow Jones was 2,500 and had one of its worst days in history, and it broke 500. What would that look like now, right? So I'll tell you something scary. If things weren't fine in 43, what's 10% of 43 is 4,300. What's 20%? If the Dow Jones was down 8,600, that's what happened in some of these crashes. I hope that doesn't happen, but I've seen crazier things happen. Wasn't that long ago we watched the Dow Jones go from 31 down to 16 during the incident we had 4 years ago. I don't want you to be censored if I say any words here. YouTube won't let anyone see this if we say that word. But you and I are old enough to say we've seen a couple crazy things. Let's hope and pray that the election process goes well. Let's hope everyone stays safe, all the candidates, all the people involved, all the people voting. Let's hope everyone behaves in the world so we could just do what we love to do in American ag, produce the most bushels, be the most efficient producer, and sell it at a great price. Thanks, Jess.
You bet. And folks can watch the daily ATI Pro Media program at 9 a.m. every weekday morning on YouTube, and special reports and more. Tommy Grisafi with Advanced Trading. Tommy, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining us on the show, my friend.
Thanks, Jess.
Make sure to subscribe to the Market Talk YouTube channel. There, you can watch our latest interviews with the top market analysts in the country, find bonus content, and much more. Just go to youtube.com/markettalkag and hit the subscribe button, or you can search for Market Talk Ag on YouTube.